Hi guys, and welcome to At Home with Elisa. Today I have a new garden bed to show you. So if you haven't already been following on my Instagram, I have done a little bit of a reveal there, but I have been working on this garden bed for quite a few months. It has taken a long time to build. It is our largest garden bed by far in this garden. I do have plans for another one in the garden extension, but that will be next year. But this garden is purely dedicated to my love of sweet peas. So I grew up with my grandfather growing sweet peas, and he used to leave a little vase of sweet peas beside my bed. And I've always had an absolute love of sweet peas for those memories alone, and my grandfather teaching me how to grow them. So I wanted to dedicate a special space towards growing sweet peas. And also, I needed an extra space because in my garden, I am looking at I've got something I've been working on, and I will need a large amount of cut flowers. More on that to come. But I will need a large area for growing cut flowers, so I needed a large in-ground garden bed. So let's take a look at it forming up. So this is what the garden bed's starting out looking like. It was basically just a dumping ground at the very back of the garden. I realised that I needed a utility area and also to put in a large garden bed. For a few months I'd been collecting newspapers and cardboard and just basically trying to keep the weeds suppressed until we had time to actually build the garden bed. And then you can see my husband stepping in to help me actually form it all up. We were hoping to have a rock garden bed, however we realised before I built this area here, we realised that it actually flooded, and it flooded quite badly. So therefore we needed to put the wood garden bed in just to basically sort of deflect some rainwater if we did happen to flood again. And this is where the fun part started. So I just kept laying down layers of newspaper, like probably about 3 newspapers thick, plus all the cardboard that I already had on there. And I was just wetting it in between each so that then I wouldn't lose like water or anything like that. And then it came time to filling it up. I had some mulch and I decided to just fill up a lot of it with mulch as well, just to take up some of that volume. So I got some topsoil delivered. As you can see, it's quite a big pile because it is a big garden, and I have more garden beds planned. But I got some soil delivered. I wasn't entirely happy with it, so I did make some amendments to it as well. I added in compost, I added in different types of fertilizer, some rock dust as well, just basically to give it some nutrition because it was really just very sandy. And I had 5 star jasmine that I really want to grow along this very back fence here. I know that they will take a long time. Look how yellow they were when I put them in. I know that they will take a long time to establish, so I just wanted to get those in as quickly as I could. And then it came time to do the fun part to me, which is the Gymea stalks. We have large Gymea trees on our property, and they have these large flower spikes, and there's usually a flower at the very top of those stalks there. So I cut the flowers off and used the stalks to actually build a sweet pea TP, and I just love the outcome. And this is the garden bed all completed. Isn't it just the sweetest thing? So I will be having a fence go all the way up to that post. You can see it stops here. I'm going to go all the way up to there. It will continue across all the way over to there. So the fence will be extended, and then that way I will be able to grow sweet peas all up the back. So my plan for this year is that I will have purely white sweet peas along the very back fence, and they're called their variety Mr. Fothergill's called Norman Wisdom, so they will grow along the back fence, and then I have a variety of colors which will go along my TP. As you can see, my sunflowers are just about at the end. This weekend I'm actually taking out all those sunflowers. I'll give the seeds to my chickens and I will plant the very back area there with those white Norman Wisdom sweet pea seeds. But I am so looking forward to transforming this garden into a beautiful tribute to sweet peas. So currently in the garden bed I've just got these beautiful pink petunias which are just so cute, and I have a favourite plant of mine, Mystic Spire's salvia. So it's Mystic Spire's blue salvia and it's just gorgeous. It's so soft, so soft. So it's one of my favourites, and as you can see there's the other over there. When I mulched the garden bed I made sure that I just put, it's just straw here so I can plant straight into it. It's really good for water retention, because when I first did plant out into it I found that everything was drying out. It was the middle of summer but everything was drying out. So the straw keeps the weeds down and will also make sure that I don't lose a lot of moisture. This bit here I will never actually grow any plants just here, so I've just mulched this, and same with over there. I haven't done very back along the fence there because that is an area that I just want to work on the soil before I put my sweet peas in. So I currently have some self-seeded cosmos which are just about to flower. It's currently autumn here and they flower throughout summer and autumn, and as I mentioned, all of my sunflowers, it's time for them to come out. And the star jasmine that I planted right along the very back fence, I have 5 of them planted. They are going really well. They've taken to the spot really nicely. So they will help when I don't have sweet peas growing up the fence. I'll have star jasmine and it'll just help to screen out this area of our next door neighbour's property. It's just a bit untidy because, you know, it's sort of like a bog area and they can't get down and mow down here. It's a little bit of a wetland, so they can't get down there to access it. They just access sort of into there, but I'd like to just screen it out. So once I have that back fence in place and it's all greened out to a lovely height of about here, it will be absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to see this TP absolutely covered in sweet pea flowers. My little girl is already looking forward to sitting in the middle of this TP and looking at all the pretty flowers. And as I scroll out, you'll notice just here we have like it's a catchment outlet just here, so it can be like a little river sometimes. But I'm just killing the grass all the way along so I can weed mat and put some blue metal down. I do have a mulberry tree over here which I'm hoping to actually sort of have that planted in a nice big pot. It's in one already, but I don't want to keep that one there. And then if you just have a look over this side here, I've got another pot and it has a mulberry. It's very hard to see them actually, but it has a mulberry plant in it as well, and that will then just obviously mirror each other, which will look really nice. I was just looking to see if I could find any mulberries because there was some here the other day, but I dare say the possums or my husband have gotten to them. But the mulberries are doing really well. So even though that garden bed did take months and months to actually complete, I am so happy with it. I'm so happy we didn't just rush into it and put an in-ground garden bed because it all just would have washed away. So I'm really happy with where it's at. Things do take a lot longer than what I actually expect them to take. I have some great plans for this garden. It's just, it has to work in with life. Life still goes on. So the next garden bed that we'll be building will be one that I am specifically looking to grow ranunculus in this year. A whole garden bed dedicated to ranunculus, so I'm very excited about that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you following along in our journey as we have moved from residential to acreage and just getting ourselves established here. It takes a while, we've had crazy weather, but anything good is worth waiting for, I believe. And I think sometimes that half the fun is actually enjoying the journey, not necessarily just trying to reach the end destination. Though the end destination will be really pretty, so I'm looking forward to that too. So thank you so much for joining me today. Stay tuned for hopefully some beautiful sweet pea content coming up. Thank you. Bye.